Family, rise and shine, beautiful people. What's good? It's your boy LITEBODY coming to you back again with another episode of Rise and Shine on High Views on Site. This is an Absolute Freedom production. If you don't know, now you know. Fam, it feels good to be back again and to be dropping consistently and just being in the creative mix again, making content, creating music, still pushing the ghostwriting, getting gigs on gigs on gigs. Man, it's been beautiful. It's been a very fruitful start to 2021. And yeah, got nothing more to say than just oozing in that gratitude, oozing in that abundance, and moving in that positive light, and looking forward to what the rest of the year has to offer. But before I see what the rest of the year has to offer, I also got to check myself and make sure that I'm offering what I should be. I'm fulfilling my purpose. I'm tending to my duties, if you get what I mean. Family, it's been a beautiful day today, and Rise and Shine is shot early in the day, and kind of got a few points to touch on today, but we're gonna flow on it. We'll keep it uncut, unfiltered, unedited. But I do have a couple of things I want to touch on. First of all, we have a new segment on the show. It's called I Woke Up Like This. I woke up like this. You dig? Listen. I'm going to be letting you into my frequency, into my space. What sort of vibration I woke up on today. I don't know what was happening. I don't know what the message that the universe is trying to send me today, but I woke up with this song in my head, bruh. Dude, it's unbelievable, to be honest. Actually, it kind of makes sense. I'll get to playing the song shortly and then explaining what exactly might be the influence that brought me to it, or try to pull out whatever message that either the universe sent me through the song, and if I wake up and a video is in my head, or if the topic's on my head, I'll splat that out immediately. But today's segment for I Woke Up Like This is featuring none other than NLE Chopper. I don't know how many NLE Chakra fans we've got over here on the High Views on Site fam, and anyone part of the LITEBODY movement. The Soul fam is an NLE Chopper supporter of any sort. But I've got an NLE Chopper featuring Roddy Ricch bang over here. First of all, okay, I'll play the song. I'm sure you know it by now since I mentioned both artists on it. It's called Walk 'Em Down. This is a up-stepping banger, straight up classic. I love it, and I just wanted to get you on the frequency, so enjoy, fam. Copyright infringement or not, bro, I just had to let it out. I know it's gonna come probably later on in the future. We'll have to do it in a different way, but I had to put you on. Enjoy Walk 'Em Down. Let's go. In front of the tribe, from the tribe, selling dope till the sun come down. Yeah. When I hit him with this whole 100 round, young jock in the club with my clock. Okay, you get the gist of it. He's posted with his Glock. He's posted on the block. If any op tries to step up on him, it's going down. First of all, what I think it's pulling from might be because last week when I had my crazy, probably one of the busiest weeks I ever had in terms of orders that I had to fulfill for my ghostwriting services, I had a lot of requests from clients asking for up-stepping music, asking for really aggressive, semi-violent, really super violent topics to be covered within the music. And things got pretty intense, and it's a really sensitive thing, especially when I'm creating music. the amount of influence what I'm writing has on my life, I tend to find that it sort of seeps into my reality, or it seeps in. I tried my best to distance myself from it, and I tend to also decline certain topics that might get requested. Like the week before that, I got a request from a client to write something for his memorial service for a friend of his, and I was like, yo, I'm really not trying to attract that type of energy. Also, we just lost some family friend that passed like a couple of days before. Then I got that request, and I was like, hey man, I'm not trying to attract more of this death energy or that frequency, or write from that perspective, because I might attract something that I'm not really prepared to attract or prepared to deal with. So, anyways, just to stick to the point and cut the story short, I was super busy. I probably wrote like 4 tracks within the week that were just like super like posting up on my Glock, talking about guns. I've been having to study guns, Smith and Wessons, all the way to Mac 11s, Mac 10s, Glocks, all the Glocks from Glock 9s, 19s to 38s, 35s, putting them in the bars, talking about switches, talking about drums, talking about pistol whipping niggas. So I had to get on a crazy, crazy frequency of fighting demons and fighting ops and doing things like that, all for creative purposes. Still working around how to separate myself from the art and separate myself from that attachment that I tend to have with my creations. But yeah, I think I've gotten much better at it. Before, I used to be really sensitive. Like, I'd write songs about me splurging on people. Then a few weeks later, I'm splurging on someone, or I'll write a song about someone asking for cash or something like that. All right, just a small bar, and then a couple of days later, I have like so many people hitting me up. Hey, bro, I need help. Send me this, da 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 da. Anyways, I'm a generous being at times, and I don't mind giving, but you get what I mean. It's like there's a thin line that I tend to toe and I tend to walk when it comes to what I verbalize and what I put to paper. Especially when you put a pen to paper or on the vocals, on the track, it becomes a 4D type of 4-dimensional type of creation. So it really does affect the spectrum, whether you like it or whether you know it or not. But anyways, this is what popped up. This is how I woke up, just so you know. It was an interesting vibe. I'm a fan of drill. What are your thoughts on drill music or upstepping music and the violent nature? It does have a place within hip hop. It's always been a factor since the inception of hip hop. Recently, there has been quite a pullback, and people in the US, I think it's also some of the governors within New York, publicly spoken out against drill music and the effects that it's having on the youth, and saying that it's negatively affecting the crime rate and also the amount of young people dying, young black people dying. Even Academic spoke about it a couple of weeks back, or a couple of days back, on his stream, whether drill music should still be publicized and like really supported to the degree that it is, or how much is being funded also by labels, and how profitable it is, and also that there's that sort of balance that comes with it. Like, how can we fight the amount of impact that it has when it's being funded and when it's being pushed so much within the media, and it's on the top of every playlist. Rap Caviar, the top 5 songs are probably going to have actually I can almost place a bet on this one that you're going to find some murder bars, some gun bars, some upstepping bars, if you know what I mean. I think that's going to be the title of this episode today is Upstepping. Anyways, let me know down below what your thoughts are on the effects of drill music, the effects of this violence within hip hop and whether you think it has a place. I think it can be pulled back. In my own music, I don't tend to rap about any sort of violence because that's not really what I'm about. But especially in this day, like we're finding that a lot of artists that are popping and people that are being put in the light are people who are really living that sort of lifestyle, especially in the West, in the US, even in the UK as well. These drill rappers and these upstepping rappers are rappers who are actually living that lifestyle and it's being glorified. It's sort of like watching a reality TV show that is tied to the music. The music is so catchy, the music is so in your face and so out there that it's hard to avoid, and for some people it's enticing and it's so amazing to observe from outside. But we will definitely not like be in that space, or we don't know what exact effects that it has on the people that are actually living that, and what happens to the people that get left behind when that person who blows up from the music because it was the only channel of him leaving the hood. What happens to the people that get left behind when his homies that were ripping with him, his gang or whatever, that are left in the hood and he's the one blowing up, leaving the city? You're gonna have a target on your back. You're gonna have to fend for yourself. And there's really been a big movement recently in the US trying to move away from this, or have like critical discussions and really check in what's going on and how the influence of this sort of music is impacting the youth or impacting the community as a whole. Anyways, that was I Woke Up Like This. I don't want to play it further for copyright reasons, but you get the vibe and the frequency that I woke up on. I love that song. It's a vibe. I'll leave the link below if you want to bump it in your own spare time. But yeah, man, it's been, as I told you, it's been a crazy busy week. Also coming off of a birthday weekend. I had my birthday this week. Yeah, happy birthday, everybody. Yeah. And it was a pretty chilled experience. I wanted to keep it low key, spend time with family, linked up with a homie, a day one, over the weekend again. Went out, got a couple of drinks, and got to see some scenes out here in the city. Shout out the homie Brown God, if you're watching, if you're listening. But yeah, it was a pretty decent weekend. Nothing too hectic. These days, like especially over the last couple of years, I haven't really been going crazy over birthdays. I've actually been really observing it from a super esoteric, existential separation from it, from like the birthday attachment and stuff like that. Sorry for being so vague about it, or for being so airy-fairy about it, but for those who might get what I'm saying with the words that I've selected to describe how I feel towards birthdays and stuff, or me celebrating my birthdays, it's like what exactly, why are we so attached to this thing actually? Anyways, this is the world that we live in. I may not go too deep into that, but yeah, it was my birthday this weekend. If you're following the Gregorian calendar, if that's the timeline that you're on, that's the chat that I want to have. It's like, are the people who are subscribing to the time is an illusion, time is not real, time is a man-made construct, people who are subscribing to that, do they celebrate their birthdays or their solar returns? Are we moving with the sun, or do we where do we fit in that puzzle? Because I've sort of not 100% like signed the contract and subscribed to these notions that I just brought up right now, but sort of been toying with these ideas, digesting them and seeing how they apply, and seeing whether time is bendable, whether time can be observed and seen as non-linear. It's been an interesting journey, but I'll dive deeper into that in another video. But I just want to know where the Rashad Jamal fans and supporters and those soul group members are at in terms of their relationship with time, celebrating birthdays, solar returns, or are we solely basing our subscription to these 3D or earthly rituals and practices? Are we solely basing it on like astrology, or are we just moving with the times and the way the system is programmed? Just a question, just wanted to plant that seed there to see where it could take you. And if you're interested enough to leave a comment below, I'd appreciate that. And if you haven't liked the video by now, even if you don't like what I'm chatting about, fam, just drop some positive vibes. Just drop a likey. Just drop a likey and a subby down below. Anyways, post birthday, we're coming off the post birthday. So I'm feeling good. I'm feeling older and wiser. And I'm feeling like, I feel like I've got a new sense of like rebirth, a sense of life again, a sense of clarity, direction, especially now because I've been on this momentum of staying consistent in my work, staying consistent with fulfilling orders, being in my element, being my true self, and preparing for music drops as well. I've been engineering, been busy with the mixing and mastering for a single dropping. It's called, should I drop the name right now? Yes, I'll drop it. It's called Needs. Needs, if it's not out by now, Needs is in the link below. If you're watching this at a later stage, since we're talking about time, since time is not linear, wherever the timeline suits you, the link will be below. If it's not the actual link, it's a pre-save link. But anyways, Needs is dropping soon. Needs is out. And I really had so much fun trying to find the right engineers for this. And it's been a great journey. I finally found the right homie to actually get the mixing done the way I want it to be done. And gonna be dropping that possibly by the end of Feb. I want to drop at least a song a month throughout the year. So we're starting in Feb because that's my year. That's when I start my year. And it's been a great journey just getting back into the swing of things in terms of being creative. And post birthday, then we go straight into Valentine's Day. That's a chat of its own, you know. Valentine's Day was 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, on the 14th of February. That's another conversation I wanted to have, like, since we're talking about time and prescribing and subscribing to these constructs of Earth, the construct of this planet and the way the system operates. Like, do people even know why they celebrate Valentine's Day? Like, is it only because, it's the month of love? Do we know the origins of it? Like, do we care to know about it? I'm not going to even cap, like, I've been a part of it. I'm not going to pretend as if I'm some alien who's just like anti everything Earth. Just that I view things more critically and I view things from a bird's eye view because, you know, high views on sight, you dig. But anyways, I view things like with a bit more discernment these days. And if I'm actually engaged in something, I'll just be more observant and I'll be more aware of how it makes me feel or why I'm doing things. I'll question myself a lot more, moving a bit more consciously and even subconsciously aware. Speaking of subconsciously aware, let me just take a deep dive and take a sip of this water. Speaking of water, I hope you've been hydrating and taking that H2O, family. So, I've just been really, man, just Valentine's Day. Let's get to the Valentine's Day. I wanted to just give you a sneak peek on the origins. Let me just see if I can find an article over here. If I have some time to edit, I'll put the article on this video. If you're watching the video, if you're just listening, since this is a podcast, nyana, welcome to High Views on Sites, Rise and Shine. This would make them fertile. The Dark Origins of Valentine's Day by Arnie Seipel. That's the writer. Valentine's Day is a time to celebrate romance and love and kissy face fealty. But the origins of this festival of candy and cupids are actually dark, bloody, and a bit muddled. Though no one has pinpointed the exact origins of this holiday, one place to start is ancient Rome. These Romans always got to get their fingers in. Anyways, let's get into it. The Roman celebrations were violent. There's a picture over there. You can have a look at that. I'll probably still have this on the video. So from February 13th to 15th, the Romans celebrated the feast of Lupercalia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Since it's Roman and it's linked to Italian and what's that? Latin. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Lupercalia or Lupercalia. The men sacrificed a goat and a dog, then whipped women with the hides of the animals they'd just slain. Whoa, that's tough. That's crazy, fam. What's happening? Valentine's Day. Anyways, I haven't mentioned actual Valentine's Day, but this is a ritual that was practiced on around that time, so 13th to the 15th of Feb. The Roman romantics were drunk. Okay, sorry. The Roman romantics were drunk. They were naked. Noel Linsky, now a religious studies professor at Yale University, told NPR in 2011. Young women would line up for the men to hit them, Linsky said. They believed this would make them fertile. The brutal fit included a matchmaking lottery in which young men drew names of women from a jar. The couple would then be coupled up for the duration of the festival or longer, if the match was right. The ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of our modern day of love. Emperor Claudius II executed two men, both named Valentine, on the 14th of February, different years in the 14th of February of different years in the 3rd century. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with the celebration of St. Valentine's Day. Deep. So we've got executions involved. We've got these Roman rituals of whipping women and sacrificing goats and dogs. Sheesh. Later, Pope Gelasius muddled things in the 5th century by combining St. Valentine's Day with Lupercalia to expel the pagan rituals. But the festival was more of a theatrical interpretation of what it had once been. That's deep. Linsky added, it was a little more of a drunken revel. But the Christians put clothes on the back of it. That's crazy, man. Anyways, now you know the origins of Valentine's Day. You could probably deep dive deeper. I'll leave the link to the article below. But yeah, fam, are you gonna stick to the love stamp that it has on it, or are you gonna be moving towards understanding its origins and deciding on whether or not you're gonna pull away or actually just try to keep it more positive and lighthearted and sticking to the way the system wants you to enjoy this type of day. But anyways, we don't know how deep these rituals go. Is the energy of that ritual, is the energy signature of that ritual still alive till this day? That's the question, fam. Like, we might be putting our energy into it and not remembering or not understanding what the significance or the purpose of the ritual entails. And whether you like it or not, if the ritual is in effect and you are subconsciously opening yourself up to that, you open yourself up to a lot more darker portals or potential for darker portals to be opened. But I just wanted to shed some light on that. It's up to you whether you apply it in your life, you choose to accept it or not. The choice is yours. It is what it is. It is what it is. Fam, we're drawing towards the end of this episode. We're going to move on to our segment, a regular segment called the Gratitude Journal, what I'm grateful for. You know how it works. Gratitude ups your vibration. Gratitude counting, gratitude journaling allows you to keep a track on what you're grateful for so you can continue to attract more of that abundance and also up your vibration at the start of your day. This is proven. It's scientific. So this is what we're doing. We're starting our day. We're rising and we're shining. And on my gratitude journal for today, my top 3 includes, I would say, my tools of operation. I'm super grateful for my tools for me to be able to fulfill my orders, for me to record my own music, for me to shoot and record these casts, for me to even, just get content and get creative or get productive. Things, simple things such as like laptops, mics, those things. When people have them, you might have saved up or you might have worked hard for it, but you don't really count those blessings, and you don't really thank the universe or thank God or thank whoever your being that you praise or your ancestors for these blessings, or you don't thank your higher self, or you're not grateful. You don't really count or tick those boxes of gratitude. So I'm really putting that on my list today, top of my list. The tools of operation. Thank you so much for all of that. Let's take a deep breath for the abundance and the prosperity and the gratitude. Creative juices. That's one thing I'm still grateful for. Like, I still got my creative juices. They've never left my side. I don't get writer's block. I stay with the juice. I stay with the sauce. And I gotta take a deep breath for that. Thank you. I'm super grateful that the universe and the stars aligned, that I was born on a day in which I would continue to be a creative being, and my soul and the way I've traveled and my path and my karma is aligned for this in this time and beyond, now and forevermore. I do, and so it is. You dig? Thank you. Thank you for that. That's on my great gratitude journal today. What's the next one? I would say other creative beings, being surrounded by other resourceful and creative beings, people who are able to create their own things, people who have their own businesses, people who are creating their own things, their own work. My home, shout out Brown Guard, shout out the Pot Wolf, shout out my engineers, shout out the fam, shout out Soul Evokers, shout out those beings, all for those that I'm not mentioning right now. You know who you are if you're closest to me, and you're a creative being that also oozes that energy, because that being surrounded by these types of beings or people that are in higher vibration, it gets you also to that level. We all know that you are the product of the 5 people you hang around the most, or people that you engage with the most. Shout out Kire. How can I forget? Where is Kire? That's the realest homie right there as well. Another super creative being that I'm grateful for in my life. And you are the product of who you keep around you. That's facts, and everybody knows that. But just wanted to plant that seed and remind you, and also drop that bomb of gratitude. Family, thank you so much for tuning in. This was the second episode of High Views on Sites, Rise and Shine. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for all the supporters and everyone who's been watching the videos, the reaction videos, the put me on videos. We're keeping the content coming, music dropping, links below. Follow me on Instagram if you're not. Link is also below at LITEBODYX. LITEBODY, 365 perspective. Signing out. You dig what I did.
I hate to remind you, the light might blind you. It's high views on sight time. The karma gets so deep. I know that you the one I have to come back here and have to do this all again. So play the energy. But I know that you gon' reach your destiny and destination for your soul, because it's meant to be. They might try to take me down, but I can't lose.